Commence primary ignition.
This is the way. I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
Well, what is up, all of you Ugnaughts and Jawas out there, and welcome back to yet again another episode of Mando Talk. And first things first, I owe some apologies. So, last night, me, Rebel Scum Texan, and Zach Horvath, we tried to do a live stream where we shared our thoughts on Disney Gallery, the making of the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian, and we just ran into so many tech issues, so we couldn't really get that done. So here is a guarantee for you, the listener, and we're going to try to stick to that guarantee. That is this: myself and DJ Foster, aka Rebel Scum Texan, we will talk about Star Wars The Mandalorian making of season 2 finale next Thursday on the live stream, only because I feel that that is a show or an episode that I want somebody with to talk about that experience, because it's an experience to see that. So be looking forward to that. I apologize for that. And that's going to be, I guess, the debut of Rebel Scum Texan fully being on board here at Mando Talk. And what that unfortunately means is we don't necessarily get to see or have a final episode of Zach Horvath being here each and every single week. He is starting his own journey with Video Game Nightcap, and again, I will put that link for his YouTube channel in the description, so check that out, subscribe to that, and I wish him luck, but he'll come on when he can. You know, he's made that very clear. He's going to be hanging out with us when he has the opportunity to. So again, I wanted to apologize for that. So this is going to be a shorter episode than normal because, well, that's what we were going to talk about this week. But again, I want to share that experience with somebody. So what we're going to do instead is we're actually going to talk about the small little news pieces that we've gotten throughout this past week. And then that way, next week, me and Rebel Scum Texan can talk about, you know, any additional news, as well as spoilers for that making of season 2 finale. So be sure to come back next week for that. And again, I apologize for the issues that we ran into, but hopefully, you know, those will be fixed soon and we won't have to worry about that anymore. But let's go ahead and get into it. I will mention this though: we are so close to 100 subscribers by the time that the Book of Boba Fett hits. We're at 76, so 24 more to go. And I think that we can get there if you will just click that subscribe button. If you have not done so already, we would greatly appreciate it. And then check us out on Twitter and TikTok at Mando Talk. And then even check us out on Facebook and Instagram. DJ Foster is helping me out a lot with those platforms, so go follow those at Mando Talk on those two platforms as well. But with all of that down, you know, I'm just going to hit this week in Star Wars news topics with you, kind of solo. I hope you're enjoying this. This is coming out on a Friday, so I hope this gives you your Mando Talk content that you so desperately crave, right? And so hopefully you enjoy this. But with that said, let's get into it. Let me get this image pulled up, and the first news piece is all about Andor. According to Bespin Bulletin, Andor has wrapped filming. I think this is more evidence of an epic 2022 for the Star Wars franchise. But for me, it's also like driving me internally crazy because we have so much stuff coming next year that it's hard to kind of predict when we're going to get it. So we got Kenobi, we got Andor, we got Bad Batch Season 2, we got Mandalorian Season 3, and I'm sure there's something that I may have possibly even just left off as I was listing things out there. So for me, as I'm somebody that tries to like predict when we're going to get things and map out as far as content schedule goes for Mando Talk, I want to know when this stuff is coming, but we just don't know that yet, and I can't wait to finally get that information so we can, you know, start making some plans, but I'm excited. That is very exciting to me that Andor has wrapped filming. And again, it's kind of funny because that show continues to, or it was there for a minute, having set leak after set leak, and I'm glad that that has kind of been wrapped up and taken care of. And we can kind of move on from there. But I will say this, the last thing that I want to say about Andor wrapping its filming is I think that answers as far as what next year is going to look like for Star Wars are coming our way, especially on Disney Plus Day. I believe that's coming in November. I expect to see potentially a trailer for Andor, potentially a trailer for Kenobi, release dates for all of these different things, an update about The Mandalorian, and definitely something about Book of Boba Fett since that's coming out at the end of this year. So I would circle that date on your calendar and know that's probably going to be very important for us as Star Wars fans, as well as, Marvel and any other just Disney Plus content is going to be announced on that day. So circle that date. And while I mentioned Marvel, I completely forgot to mention Tuesday live streams, me and DJ and whoever else we can get on. We're going to start just talking about other universes, specifically on Tuesday nights over on YouTube exclusively live at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. To talk about Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, all of the other Geekverse content that I love. And I figured, you know what? I have Mando Talk. I have the supporters out there that enjoy listening to me talk nerd. So why not just use that platform? We'll specifically do that on Tuesday. But, this will always be a Star Wars first, primarily content platform. But I did want to, mention that plug while I just mentioned Marvel there for a brief second. But anyway, what do you think about Andor wrapping filming? I think it's pretty exciting, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see the show. I think that show is going to surprise some people. I know right now maybe it's not the tip top as far as on people's radar, but I think it's gonna surprise a lot. And I know DJ Foster talks about how Andor has been his favorite character in the Star Wars universe before, and sometimes that shocks people, and some people don't even know who he is. I think everybody's going to know who he is pretty soon. Okay, next up, second news piece. A new trailer for Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga has been released, and it reveals a spring of 2022 release date. Now, my thoughts on the trailer, it looks ton of fun, and that's what I look for in a game. I'm not somebody that really wants to necessarily be challenged with a video game. When I throw a video game on, it's because probably because it's Star Wars, and B, it's because I want to escape the world that we're in, and I just want to enjoy the Star Wars galaxy and immerse myself in the story and the setting and the fun. And that's what Lego Star Wars has always delivered on. And it's very exciting to me of mapping out the entire Skywalker saga. Lego has done, the original trilogy. It's done the prequel trilogy, and I think it did a Force Awakens video game, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But I'm excited to see this overarching Skywalker saga story told in this Lego platform. Now, I put a question here in my notes that was, again, specifically for the live stream, but I'll go ahead and answer it for myself. For the footage, was it successful in getting us more excited for the game? For me, absolutely. I'll be completely honest, with Lego Star Wars, it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I just absolutely have to have this. And again, you know how I am. I would have gotten it. But now that I saw this trailer, it's definitely on my radar, and I can't wait to get my hands on it and to play that game a little bit more. So what do you think about the new Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga trailer? I would love to hear your thoughts. And let me know, are you going to get this game, and what platform are you playing the game on? Because I think sometimes it can be more enjoyable to play some of those Lego more simple style games on a specific type of console or device. So you let me know, are you getting the game? What are you playing it on? And I would love to hear those. Now, the next and last news piece, it was actually the title and the thumbnail of this video. Now, with that said, I am specifically fixing to get into heavy spoilers for Obi-Wan Kenobi, the upcoming Disney Plus show, because there is a huge potential leak from the set and concept art over at StarWarsNewsNet.com for those of you that are interested in hearing this information. So, if you do not want to know these spoilers, I appreciate you listening this week. And again, keep all of those announcements in mind as far as what next week is going to look like for our show. So if you don't want to know these spoilers, I appreciate you listening thus far. But I would just click away and I'll catch you next week. I won't be hurt. My feelings wouldn't be hurt because I get it. Sometimes I like to go completely clean into a show. So maybe you don't want to see this information or you don't want to hear about it. So again, one last warning, I am going into potential spoilers for Obi-Wan Kenobi and specifically Darth Vader's role in Obi-Wan Kenobi here in a second. I'm going to show images. I'm going to talk about what those images could potentially mean, and I'll leave it at that. Again, there's my final warning. So here we go. If I'm actually going to pull up the Star Wars Newsnet article here on my screen, and I'm going to pull it up for those of you on YouTube to see as well. So Star Wars Newsnet, first of all, they do a great job. Props and credit where credit is due. This is all StarWarsNewsNet.com. Here's the article. It states exclusive images and details on Hayden Christensen's return as Darth Vader in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Huge, big, wide lettered warning sign title there. And let's get into it. So I'm not going to spend time reading the article, but we're just going straight to the image and boom, there it is. So in this article, I guess I do probably need to mention this. In this article, I believe it stated that they saw these things, or they saw two of these things on set and artists rendered them. They drew what they saw on set. This first image, I believe, is strictly concept art of what Hayden Christensen could look like in Obi-Wan Kenobi. If I keep scrolling, here is artist rendering of a physical device on the set of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is clearly a Bacta? I'm for some reason I'm blanking on that name right now. One of those tanks, a Bacta tank, excuse me. I know that. I apologize. It's been a rough week. A Bacta tank that we see there. We saw one of those in Rogue One. That would make sense for Darth Vader to be in one of those to continue to be healing himself and to become the dark Sith Lord that we eventually see later in the saga. So that image is a artist rendering of something that they saw on the set. Okay, and then one last thing, this right here again is an artist rendering of a device that they saw on set, and this is the breathing device or just the survival device that Hayden Christensen's Darth Vader would be wearing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the really big eye-opener, wow moment kind of image, and that is this concept art. So this was not a set leak artist rendering. This is specifically a concept art picture based on, from my understanding, based on the two set leak devices. Actually, you know what? No. I take that back. This is... No. Okay, I'm getting this all mixed up. You know what? I should probably read this thing, right? It says, we have exclusive photos from the set of Obi-Wan Kenobi and had artist renderings created so we can share them with you. We also have never-before-seen concept art of Vader made for this series. The connective theme between all of this is understanding why Christensen is back as Darth Vader specifically. So for this eye-popping image, it says, this is new and never-before-seen concept art of Darth Vader specifically made for the upcoming Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi. This image is not a render. It is exactly as it was provided. We can't confirm whether this made it beyond the concept stage, but with Hayden Christensen returning to play Vader, it will actually be him this time around and not the mannequin used for Rogue One. And based on the next image, it is very safe bet we'll see him like this in the series. Okay, so the two bottom images, the tank and the mask, are set leaks that are artist renderings. The first one, the eye-opening one, is concept art, but the set leaks kind of confirmed that this is probably the look that they are going for. Okay, so just get this mental image or physical image in your head. This is what your boy Hayden Christensen more than likely is going to look like in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and my goodness, that is going to be absolutely stunning. Now, the one thing that I will say, obviously, I think this might confirm, because I'm looking at the arms here. So I'm specifically looking at the arms, how there really aren't arms there. This is probably going to confirm that when Christensen and Kenobi fight, that Anakin is going to have to put on the Vader suit for when that fight goes down. But maybe we just see, Hayden in this state. But then when he's ready to go, when Anakin's ready to fight, he'll throw on that Vader gear. Maybe that's just a theory, a thought, or maybe he'll just have the robotic legs attached, the robotic arms attached, and that's it. And he'll just walk around with that breathing mask on. That would be pretty intense and pretty horrific, scary looking, if you ask me, that I would love to see. But anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. Incredible work by Star Wars Newsnet. And hopefully you took my warnings there. I told you we were getting into spoilers, and specifically with what Hayden Christensen, so excited to see his return into Kenobi. Well, look, those were the news pieces for this week in Star Wars, and those are the things that I wanted to talk about for this week's podcast episode, and that was really it, because again, I wanted to talk about Disney Gallery, The Mandalorian, this week, but it's such a special moment. Luke Skywalker's return is such a special moment that talking about it deserves to be discussed with someone else that absolutely loved the moment. So I can't wait to do that next Thursday live, fingers crossed, at 8:30 p.m. Central Time on YouTube with DJ Foster, a.k.a. Rebel Scum Texan, and then a podcast episode of that recording will come out Friday morning, because again, we are going to that new schedule. Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, we're going to talk about other universes, everything in the Geekverse, Marvel, DC, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, you name it. Thursday, we'll go live at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, talking about Star Wars news, Star Wars topics, like we've been doing recently. And then Friday morning at 6 a.m. Central Time, our podcast episode of Thursday night's Star Wars live stream will come out. So definitely, I just want you to know that we are still by far focused on Star Wars. We will always be putting the Mandalorian, the Mando, into our talk. We'll always be talking about the Star Wars galaxy. And, we might even talk about the Star Wars galaxy during our Talking Other Universes live streams, because honestly, Star Wars is still my number one thing. It's always going to be my number one thing. So I just wanted to address that. But that is this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I apologize for the live stream issues, but you know what? I am so thankful for the love and support that I saw that we were getting while those issues were going down. Admittedly, I was pretty upset. I was bummed. But some of you in the live chat were even talking to us about how you were over in the UK and you were awake at 3 a.m. because you wanted to hear our thoughts. That right there is amazing and incredible, and I am so thankful for that support. And I can't wait for next week to continue to talk about more Star Wars goodness with DJ Foster, a.k.a. Rebel Scum Texan. And until then, may the Force be with you, and as always, we have spoken.